Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. More details have emerged surrounding the fire on board a submarine which killed 14 Russian sailors. Authorities say the main cause was a fire in the battery compartment, which then spread through the vessel. It's also been revealed that the top-secret military craft was nuclear-powered, but Russia's defense minister said the reactor had been isolated from the fire. A requiem service was held in Kronstadt Naval Cathedral earlier. The senior officers died of smoke inhalation as a result of the fire. The craft is now at Severomorsk, the main base of Russia's northern fleet. Russia's president said 7 of the crew members held the rank of captain, first class, and 2 were holders of the Hero of Russia, the highest military award issued. Royal Marines have boarded an oil tanker on its way to Syria, thought to be breaching EU sanctions. Marines in Gibraltar detained the supertanker Grace 1, boarding the vessel using helicopters and speedboats on suspicion of carrying crude oil. The refinery in Syria is subject to European Union sanctions against the country. The Gibraltar government published regulations on Wednesday to enforce the sanctions against the tanker and its cargo. China's row with Britain is intensifying after the UK's Foreign Secretary warned the country could face serious consequences over its treatment of protesters in Hong Kong. Earlier, the Chinese ambassador Liu Xiaoming held a press conference in which he told Britain to stay out of the country's internal affairs. It's after China summoned the UK's ambassador following what was described as unacceptable and inaccurate remarks made by Jeremy Hunt. However, the Foreign Secretary once again warned the Chinese government not to respond by repression.
Let me be clear what I said. I said that I condemned, and we as the United Kingdom condemn, all violence, and that people who supported the pro-democracy demonstrators would have been very dismayed by the scenes they saw. So I was not supporting the violence. What I was saying is the way to deal with that violence is not by repression. It is by understanding the root causes of the concerns of the demonstrators.
The United Nations has said it has information that Libyan guards shot at refugees and migrants who tried to flee from the air raids which killed more than 44 people. At least 130 people were injured in the attack, which the Libyan government blamed on an airstrike by forces loyal to the warlord General Khalifa Haftar. Most of the dead are believed to be sub-Saharan Africans who are attempting to reach Europe from Libya. The Australian student who was detained in North Korea has been released. Alex Sigley, who's 29, was studying in the North Korean capital and had been missing since June the 25th. Asked by reporters how he was, he replied with just one word.
How do you feel?
Great. Walking through Beijing International Airport on his way to Japan, he declined to comment about what happened to him in Pyongyang and where he was held. Australia has no diplomatic presence in North Korea and relies on other countries to act on its behalf. In this instance, diplomatic officials from Sweden helped mediate between the Australian government and North Korea.
This outcome demonstrates the value of the discreet, behind-the-scenes work of officials in resolving complex and sensitive consular cases in close partnership with other governments. I'm sure we all could not be more pleased that we not only know where Alex is, but we know he is safe.
A volcano on the Italian island of Stromboli has erupted, with one person believed to have been killed by falling stones. The unexpected eruption started fires on the western side of the small Mediterranean island, which lies north of Sicily. Releasing hot, trapped magma, the powerful explosion envelops the popular tourist destination in ash. The person who died was believed to have been out walking at the time. Another person is thought to have been injured. At least 6 people have died and over 190 others injured after a tornado hit a city in northeast China. This amazing footage shows the sheer power of the twister in Liaoning province, with the tornado hitting the city of Kaiyuan at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It lasted around 15 minutes, wreaking havoc on apartments, factory buildings and power lines. The city government said around 210 people have been rescued from damaged buildings. And finally, fireworks are a common sight in America today as the United States celebrates Independence Day, but not quite like this. A store caught fire in Fort Mill in Southern California, igniting its inventory and setting off hundreds of fireworks. Crews were working to extinguish the blaze when more fireworks started to go off. According to local media, no injuries had been reported. And that's your international news around the world in 5.